Hi everyone, it's Tonya, and yesterday I shared with you this cabbage rose that I've been making, and I told you that I have a little bit different technique than what's been running around YouTube, so I wanted to kind of share it with you tonight. And this is day 27 of the Marion Smith challenge, so let's get started. Now, a couple of you have asked me for a tutorial on this flower as well. Go to Tracy's Treasures 24. She has the perfect video for this. If you look at yesterday's video, you will see a link to it. Seriously, I couldn't do the tutorial any better than what she did. It seriously is the same video. So let's get started because we got a lot to do here. And what I've got is, I just took my EK Success punch, which I've buried now, I think. Anyway, it's just this flower shape. And I think you could probably find this on the Cricut somewhere too if you don't have this punch. And it would be ideal if you had this one and the small one. But I don't have the small one, so I'm going to show you how to make do. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut out 8 of these petals. Now, I've already pre-done a lot of the work here so that you don't have to sit and watch me. It's kind of painful. And what I did was, this is just standard cardstock, and I took a stamp that I have that's a dictionary stamp, and I laid down 4 of these at one time and bam, hit them with it. And I used a Stays On ink. I used the Timber Brown Stays On ink to do it. And the reason I did that is because see how it kind of gives a little definition, and it kind of makes these look like they've got a little bit more to them than just flat cardstock. But that's definitely not a necessary step. Then I take 2 of the petals and put them together, and I'm going to distress the edges. Now I'm going to show you 3 different ways to distress the edges. You're going to take either your Tim Holtz distress tool, keeping your thumb about right here. You're going to push that back and then come around the corner like a paring knife kind of thing, and just really grunge up those edges. And the more torn and tattered they look, the better. And the reason you're keeping your thumb there is because you can tell they're starting to pull around your thumb, giving you that circular shape that you're after. So see how that did? Now on the SaCrafters, that's my doggie over there that's whimpering. She wants to go in the other room and I'm busy. On SaCrafters, what she did was she took some deco edge scissors, any scissor will do, and she just kind of roughed it up, the edges. Not really cutting, just kind of tearing. So I hope you can see that. So see, this gets, but I thought that needed to be torn a little bit. So after I did that, I did this. Because see, she was using a needlepoint paper, and I'm not using that, so it kind of ripped a little bit easier. This is cardstock, it's a little tougher, so I wanted it to be a little roughed up. So I just took my fingers and roughed it up after that. Now, if you don't have either one of those tools, any kind of deco scissors or anything like that, I'm a big believer in not buying something to make something. So use what you got. And let me see, get this. Another product that you could use is on this one. You could take some sandpaper and just really rip into it. A nail file, an emery board, something, you know, and just really rough those edges up. Now, if you do that, you might want to come back and just kind of rub your fingers across it again. That's why the distress tool just kind of helps save your fingers a little bit. I hope I'm not off camera. Anyway, see how those are all wrinkled up and they're starting to get the look that you're after? Okay, now the technique that I have for making these cabbage roses, I shared with you the other day. It's a little bit different than Jana Viles. And what you're going to do is, excuse me, you're going to take glimmer of any choice. Now, if you don't want to use any glimmer on this, just use water. But you need these to be wet, because when you wet the cardstock, it activates the starch in the cardstock, and it helps it to stiffen and take shape. So see how that is kind of puddled, that glimmer is kind of puddled? What I'm going to do is take the petal that's above it, or the other petal, I'm going to put it on top of it and just kind of press it in. And I'm going to kind of spread with my fingers that glimmer all around so I get it good and saturated. This will also help to get rid of the excess glitter so it doesn't soak into the paper. Now I might have to hit it one more time with the glimmer, and that's fine if I do. This color of glimmer is called peppermint stick. And then this is a homemade glimmer that I have that it's got a gold perfect pearls in it, and it's on a brown stain. And the reason I'm doing the 2 colors instead of just one is because I really want some kind of definition in the color tones. I think it gives it depth when you use more than one color. And again, I'm just dragging that color out to the edges, making sure that even the tips are saturated. And just make sure this is not oversaturated. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with my heat tool for just a second. I do not want these completely dry. Instead, I want them damp, because I'm going to have to work with them from here. Okay, they're still a little damp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these up, kind of fold them in half, pull these around, and then see how all the petals are together. Then I'm going to take them and I'm going to squish them, balling the bottom, rolling the bottom up into the top of the petal and pushing that petal down around that. And I'm going to lay that one down. Again, here we go. I'm going to pull these up, kind of folding it in half. Fold it over again so that the petals are one on top of the other. I'm going to take the bottom part, roll it up, and then press the top down over the bottom. And really crunch it in there. Because what that's going to do is, as I dry it, it's going to give it that rolled look that we're after. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to continue to dry these. And it doesn't take but just a second because they're pretty much dry. I'm just going to let it. Okay. Now I'm going to take and open them up, but be very careful because as this cardstock dries, it is brittle. And I'm going to kind of be very careful opening it up. And this one is not quite as dry as I would want it. So what I'm going to do is put it in my thumb here, roll it up, very careful, finish drying it. Chase it around the pie plate. Okay, set that one to the side. Now let's open this one up. Now you want, the more of these petals that you do, the better. And if you wanted to do this like a no-brainer night or something, you know, do things in steps. Like one night make petals and one night glimmer, you know, roll and unroll or whatever. You could definitely leave these sitting overnight. But see how that's already got that kind of barreled in look? And we didn't spend hours with a paintbrush or the end of a pen messing with it. So I'm going to get these petals pulled up the way I want them. And this one is still a little bit wet too. So I'm going to pull them up, kind of tuck them in, lay it down, heat it up. Now I've already done this process for all of the rest of the flowers, so they will come together. It'll come together really well. So what I'm going to do now is move that out of the way. I'm going to take some of these, lay them out, and decide which ones I want to use first. So this one is the flattest one. And see how the petal's a little bit ripped right there? That's okay, not a big deal. I want to start with the bottom layer as much as I can. So I'm going to take and I'm going to put this in my finger, my thumb, and I'm going to pull these petals back just a little bit, pinching and pulling. Pull it around, and the more distressed and less defined it is, the better. Pull it down around my thumb, kind of pinch it and pull it down. Around my thumb, pull the petal back. Kind of roll it back. And roll it back. If they're split, it's okay. Let them split. Pull it up, roll it back. Okay, so this is going to be my bottom layer. And I'm going to take my quick dry adhesive and I'm going to put some down in the bottom and up along the edge of the petals, about halfway up the petal. Then I'm going to find the next one that I want to use. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to kind of see how I'm pushing it around my thumb to give it that rounded look. Around my thumb. If it's already round, don't mess with it. It's fine. If it's already going in the right direction, don't mess with it. Natural. That's what I like, because that's how a flower would form naturally. Okay, so then offsetting that petal, I'm going to kind of come in and just kind of lay that down so it's offset just a little bit. Now, I'm going to hit that. I could hit that with my heat gun, but I'm going to hold off just a second. But see how it's starting to take shape, that cabbage look? Okay, now I'm going to find the one that is the tightest, and I'm really liking how this one looks. And I mean, this is natural. This is just how I pulled it out. I didn't spend hours pushing that thing around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two petals right here. They're kind of naturally curling in around each other. And I'm going to apply some glue to them. Just right in here. Just be kind of liberal with it, but don't oversaturate it. Okay, I'm going to hold that in. And then I'm going to take this one, glue here, here, and here. Almost like a teacup. And I'm going to pull it in and pull it tight, kind of rounding it. And where these petals are, I'm going to try and take one petal and tuck it inside the other one, bring it around, you know, so, and just kind of work it tight like this. Putting a little bit of glue. Okay, then I'm going to take the next one that's kind of closed up, and I'm going to do the same thing, but this time I'm going to wrap it around the one I just made, putting glue halfway up and in the center. And I'm going to take it and stick it right in the center, offsetting the petals just a little bit, and wrap it around. Just keep wrapping it around. And if the petals want to come out towards the outside or go towards the inside, that's fine. But see, this is my rosebud that's starting to form. So this is what we have. Okay, now once that's good and dry, I'm gonna set this one to the side for just a second. This is the key, is do it in stages so that you don't mess with it. And now we're gonna start with the next one. I'm gonna open it up. I'm going to take a little bit of glue, stick it inside of here, all halfway up the pages, or up the petals. Offset the petals. Put it in. Start curling it back up. Now this should be somewhat dry, but I'm going to hit it with the heat tool just to kind of speed the process up. You could use hot glue, it'd probably work a lot faster, but I like the fact that this quick dry glue is a little more forgiving. So then I'm going to take and I'm going to cut off just a little bit right there off the bottom. I'm going to pinch these petals back together, and I'm going to stick it down inside of here. Again, glue halfway up. And then I'm going to start pulling these up around that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and roll it up, offsetting those petals just a little bit so they curl. If one's like this one's curled out, I'm going to take this one that's curled in, I'm going to try and tuck it inside of it. And just keep building like that. Well, actually, that one's not going to work that way. I need to curl it back the other way. So I'm going to stick my finger in it and curl it back the other way. And if you think you need a little more glue as you work, just add a little more glue. And you're going to just keep rolling those up around there like that. And then you come back to your next flower, open it up, put your glue in the bottom, offset the petals, wrap it around. Open up the next one, and you just keep that process going until your flower is the desired thickness that you're after. The smaller the punch, the smaller the flower, the fewer the layers, the more of a bud it becomes. But see how it's just kind of got that little smushed up flower look. And you're just going to kind of hold that until it dries. Now, ideally, let it dry on its own. But I'm going to kind of help it out just a little bit. Be careful with your fingers if you do this. And just kind of helping that glue out a little bit. Now, after it's completely dry, you're going to come back and just kind of play with the petals and get the shape that you want. Don't worry if it's a mess. Don't worry, it'll work out. And as you start pulling these back apart, Angel, you're being mean over there. As you start pulling them back apart, they start looking like this. So there's your tutorial. Thank you guys for watching. And I hope this is explaining it pretty good. But I did it without all of that circle, which might be easier for some of you. I don't know. But like, you see how I'm just pulling it out? This one's not quite dry, so it's having a hard time pulling it out. But once it's dry and you know those bottom petals aren't going to go anywhere, it becomes easier and easier. And you just keep building one layer on top of another until you have what you're after. So thanks for watching.